Hello, guys, and welcome to today's show. Sorry we are 2 minutes late. I actually blame that man there.
It is my fault.
It's his fault. But yeah, hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. We are here to answer more of your questions. The show is sponsored by ODYS Global. With the links below, you can get £100 bonus if you go through the link below and sign up if you're looking for age domains or done for you affiliate websites. So check them out and take advantage of that deal. Let us know where you're from. Let us know what you want to know. Get your questions asked. But while we're just letting people jump in, Chris, that t-shirt, which you just
Love it.
Literally seconds ago, Hugh Kinnaird, I'll give Hugh Kinnaird a shout out. My boating buddy. So what about this t-shirt, man? You've just slipped it on. What is that?
I had to. Well, I had a great person that watches. He sent me this sweet shirt. I thought it was so cool. I was so happy when I got it, so I decided to throw it on. Why not?
Yeah, and do I really know this guy? Was that genuinely a guy that follows me that follows you?
Oh, no. I was kidding about that. No.
Man.
No. I was busting your chops.
I'm like, man, where's mine?
No. That's funny.
You never know.
No.
But yeah, let us know who's here. Lennart is here saying cool t-shirt. Faisal, there is no topic. You can ask whatever you want relating to digital marketing, whether it's local SEO, general SEO, anything you want to do with marketing, ask away. We'll happily answer them. We do have the usual suspects. Sorry?
I have a question, Craig.
Yeah,
actually, you know what? This might be more of a private question. Actually, no, I don't have a question. It's a private question. I'm very sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. I just was waiting to see you. It's been burning in my mind. I really want to ask you something. But anyway, how's things been going for you? That's my main question.
Good. No, tell me. You've got me intrigued now. I want to know what this private question is.
It has to do with setting up PBN sites. I'm just stuck on one. I'm stuck on a piece. Stuck on an early piece. You know, I have so many, and I'm just running into an issue now, and it's a big issue. You know, it's a big problem. I need to, like I don't need my name across the web 9,000 times or whatever it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We can talk about it after this if you don't want to talk about it here. That's cool. We've got Fred Hutterson. Hello. Randy Rodet, hello. Elton Musa, hello. Mickleback, hello. Holly Starks is there again. Good to see you, Holly.
Hi, Holly.
And we have
wrote a note.
Want to talk about local SEO. So guys, when you are asking questions, try and be very specific about your questions. Asking a question like, how do we do link building? It's a topic that could take an hour to go through. So it needs to be kind of something we can do that's not going to bore everyone to tears. Quick fire, question and answers where we can take a minute or two to explain what's going on. So do get your questions in. We have Drew Down saying, Craig, if you were to fight The Rock in a steel cage match, which I absolutely wouldn't, would you use your superior brain to outsmart him into submission? I would use my brain and decide I wouldn't be getting into any steel cage match with a guy with those muscles compared to my fat, short little ass that's doing fuck all day other than SEO things. I would be killed. So, yeah, it wouldn't be a good matchup. But we've got good questions coming in already. Eden Powell, he was here early today. I've got a Gmail with 30 GMBs. 10 are actually businesses, 10 lead gens, and the other, I am the manager. Google has put a hard suspension on them all. I'm guessing the lead gens will be gone. What about the rest of them?
I mean, if you had them all under one manager account or your this is why you want to keep things separated. to alleviate these troubles. Not saying that these troubles still don't occur, because they do. But you have to keep everything separated. I know it's a pain in the butt. So whether you're using a ghost browser with multiple proxies, or you're logging with VPNs, plus then you have dedicated Google accounts so you can keep things separated. But as far as to answer your question, it's a 50-50 shot. You might lose those other ones. I mean, it's 50-50.
Yeah, I think what you're saying, Chris, using Ghost Browser and all of that kind of stuff is probably what I would do. I know it's a bit more messing around and a lot more work, but if you're going to get slammed, you don't want everything getting slammed with it. So hope you do get that sorted, but I would assume that if there's a hard suspension on them all, they've done something that they don't like, and what it's like trying to get a hold of Google to get anything reversed. It's teeth at the best of times. So yeah, good luck with that, man. Hopefully you do get it sorted. So we have Videoot Pal. I've seen my competitors are ranking well, even though they don't have as good links as mine, but they have 20 times content from mine. So are you suggesting that these guys are stealing your content?
Well,
there's good links. I'm not sure what I'm taking from that.
Well, they have 20. They're ranking well, and they have 20 times more content than he does. Right? That's how I look at it. And well, they're probably bringing in more traffic because they have more content than you. If you're going to utilize them, if they're your main top competitor, why don't you model what they're doing? How many pages do they have? What are they writing about? Utilize that as a model. And if you're seeing that that's how they're winning, they're beating you off of content, then why aren't you building more content? Everybody always goes right to the links. Content's first, so hopefully that helps you out.
More content, more clicks, more everything. That's the way you want to do it. Hello to both of you. Hello to you, Zulfadli. Holly Starks is asking, have you had a play yet with Frase? So I've not personally. I've seen it in AppSumo, keep hearing more and more people talking about it, but I've never actually had a play around with it. What about yourself, Chris?
No, she actually mentioned that to me. I was just reading over their sales newsletter or whatever they call it. Their sales letter. It looks cool. It's just another, tools. I try to limit. Then you go down that rabbit hole, then I'm playing with that, and then I'm trying to figure out this, and it's just like another piece to me. It's like trying to limit stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I've not even read the course I bought from you, Holly, on YouTube back in November or whenever that came out. So I don't have just time. Sometimes you get caught up in trying tools out, and I've not had time to play around with Frase. It is on my to-do list. I keep seeing it.
Holly has a YouTube course?
She had a YouTube course out.
Really?
Probably about 2 months ago. I'm not sure if it was Black Friday or just before Black Friday, but yeah, I grabbed it and they wanted to see what was going on there. And yeah, there was some decent value there.
Gems.
But I'm not going to give away what that value was because that would be fair. Plus, I ain't fighting with Holly. I'll leave that for you, Chris. But yeah, she did. I'm not sure if it's still available, but you can check out her website. Just put in Holly Starks and you will see her store and see what good things she's given away. So check that out. Facebook users saying, get a good vendor to get you your things back, your assets back, or verify yourself. I think that was related to the guy that's potentially lost his lead gen stuff.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
it's not her name. I see. I'm sorry. I was just curious.
Flyer distribution. Does press release still work in your opinion, Chris?
Press releases still work. Yeah, I think at the beginning of a campaign or a new keyword or keyword cluster that I'm trying to target, I think it's a great way to get in the door, especially for local markets. It's cheap. It's effective. I could get a lot of places on the board. A lot of links built really fast is what I mean. I love them. I think they're great.
It worked from a link building point of view. I would agree with that. I think they're good from that. Also, brand building and everything else as well. There's no real downside to it. I can't see why people would potentially ask if they still work. The link value and obviously trying to build a brand is a good thing. And yeah, you've got to go for it. I do PR. And well, I don't personally do it. I've got my man, this guy here, Randy Roday, and he will obviously tell you that, of course, PR works. But yeah, he's selling a ton of that stuff, and people are very much using that as part of their overall strategy. And I think it's a clever thing to do, just to mix things up as well. But the brand awareness and all of that other stuff, and people at Holly, playing around with Google News websites, it shows you the power of that whole rigmarole of PR and what it can do. So you can drive a lot of traffic through doing good PR. So do it. Islam is saying, hey guys, I built backlinks, some indexed in Google, other shows in Google Search Console, and others showed in a third-party tool like Ahrefs. What backlinks are really counted? So obviously, tools are showing different sets of data, as we all know, Chris. Is there any particular ones that pass more value than others? I mean, what backlinks are really counted? I would say all backlinks are counted in some way if they do have traffic and authority and all that stuff. Just because they don't show up in Ahrefs doesn't mean they're not being counted. So that's my opinion. But Chris, I'd like you to give us a bit more insight.
1,000,000%. Just because a tool, even Google's tool, isn't showcasing it, doesn't mean that it hasn't been crawled and it hasn't been either valued or devalued. And also, if you're looking in the SERP, just because it's not in the search results doesn't mean that it's not passing value. It comes down to the actual link. So just because you're not seeing it doesn't mean you haven't been valued or it has been devalued away from you. So I just keep building links,
Keep going. Throw as many as you can out there and see what works. Guys, if you do enjoy the show, make sure you do give us a little bit of a like on the channel and all that good stuff. Ryan Durrani, ahoy fella. Haven't been here in a while. Too busy being way more stylish than Craig. So I was on a call with this guy prior to jumping on here, and he was sitting there in his house with a denim jacket on with a sheepskin collar. And he calls himself stylish. So
I know, but come on. You on a light day are wearing Balenciaga freaking t-shirts like that, just like lay around shirts.
Yeah.
Come on.
And I've got Muhammad Ali on today. A big idol of mine, but yeah.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. Muhammad Ali.
What's your favorite quote from him?
There's tons, but there's one there right on the wall.
Oh, I never even took note of that. It said Muhammad Ali.
I've got some stuff tattooed in my leg as well. I'm sure you don't want me to show you my legs, but I've got a few quotes on here as well. Don't count the days, make the days count is probably one of my favorites. I've got that one. I've got float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Listen, they're all funny quotes that he's got, man. They're brilliant. So, yeah, it's just a crazy guy, man. I like him, and I like boxing. So, yeah, he was like, yeah, a big idol and a character. So
definitely that.
Yeah, he's off his head. So yeah. So right. Anyway, what I want to go back to is Ryan's not stylish in any way with that quote. So that's the main point. But anyway, someone's saying you're looking superb in blue.
Thank you. And I have two color eyes. One's green, one's blue.
So Cashew is asking, what would you suggest? Any good tool for content analysis which can compare it with other websites that show the gaps which can be exploited?
Well, SEMrush has, it's literally a content gap. I mean, it's right there. It's plain as day. They do it well. I'm sure all the tools do it. But I like SEMrush. I'm sticking with them.
SEMrush would be my tool of choice as well, and it's got the keyword gap analysis tool there built in so that you can see what Chris Palmer has that you don't, and you know, Matt Diggity or whoever you might be, you know, aspiring to be, and you can punch them in and very quickly. SEMrush have a whole bunch of data, but by using these tools and all these kind of filtering things that they do, you can very quickly establish decent keywords and put that out to your content writing team and make sure that your stuff gets done. Facebook user, for expired domains bought from an auction and already have some rankings and traffic. What do you guys recommend? Must you create the old URLs first, or can we start with new content directly?
First, I mean, if you're going to buy, obviously, I hope you've done your due diligence first. The very first step, though, is to launch a page that was already initially in the SERPs, just to make sure that, is it going to hurry up and index immediately? You know, or is it at least going to show up? Then we know that we're probably safe to rebuild it out or repurpose it. So initially, I'm going to build at least one page.
Yeah. I think that would always be my thing. Don't just go out and blindly build on something that might never move.
Oh.
It's just a waste of time, money, and effort. So add that into your process. And as Chris says, you might not need to build the full website, but see if Google do like a page or two. And from there, you can, I mean, personally, if there was all the old URLs out there, I would go the full hog and make sure the old URL structure was put up, crawled and indexed again, and then I would do the 301 redirects at that point if I was going to then, change things up a bit. So I would just want to repurpose that website, get some traffic, get some rankings back, and then make the switch. But that's just me, and I'd probably do things in a strange way, but that way's always worked for me. So hope that helps you. Jose Claudio. Chris Palmer, I just purchased just bulk CTR manipulation earlier today, and wow, I absolutely love the gem in it. So although I don't like plugging on shows, what does this mean, Chris? What is out? Tell us more about it.
Yeah, I don't like the plug either. That's why I didn't even. I hate. I mean, it's bulk CTR. I consider what I was doing was a 3-part series. I wanted to introduce everybody. Here's one way. The next is bulk for guys that want to cover a bunch of, and then next will be enterprise. So the bulk is basically utilizing, like micro workers, campaigns, but more so covering the thought behind it. Which keywords, which volumes, what about bounce rate? What about competitors? What should I be looking at? What are the rates? How long should I be running it? Like deep diving into it. Because the implementation, hey, here's how you do this is easy, but the bulk of it is the thought behind it. Here's what you do, plus templates. And then Jose, I have more coming because I want to give, my own take on it, my own little templates, and make it easier for you. But that's pretty much it.
Jose is LGM Marketing Group, just so you know who he is.
Thanks, brother.
So there you go. But yeah, so guys, you can check out Chris's stuff. Where are you selling that on Chris Palmer Marketing?
No. Chris Palmer SEO.podia.com. Chris Palmer SEO. If you just search that, it'll come right up.
Yeah. So check that out, guys, if you're interested in that stuff.
I love those platforms, how they let you use their subdomain, and then I start with a DA60 or whatever, DR50. I'm like, yeah, baby, I'm ranking already.
Yeah, it's decent, man. Decent. Randy Roday is talking about brand building, brand management, link building, traffic. Yeah, that was about the PR thing and the benefits of it. Flyer distribution, saying thanks, Guy. Holly Starks. Then I used Frase. It knew the average keywords, and page 1 was 2,200, so it kicked out 2,300 keywords. I posted the content after spinning, after indexing. Frase is good. It's totally different from POP. Yeah, I'm going to have to try it out, because the thing is, I've been ignorant before, not trying tools out, and then massively kicked myself after it going, bloody hell, you ignorant so-and-so, why didn't you check this out? So I think it's wise to check things out if time allows, but and not just relying on one tool. I think, people at Holly who try things out all the time and many others in the SEO industry, those are the ones that are winning. So it's the right thing to be doing, and I do need to check that out, man.
And two, I think even just people that are doing, because I'll notice a lot of the revelations or the ideas come from screwing up, and I'm like, wait a minute, hey, if I would have did this, and then you come up, you come up with more methods, really.
We're going back to slagging Ryan. It's not what you wear, it's how you wear it, guys. I could pull off a £5 shirt better than Craig's Balenciaga. Guy's delusional. But hey ho, each to their own. Miko back talking about tiered link building. What do you recommend to use for backlinks to guest posts that are pointing to your money site? Plus, how many would you use? And would you drip feed these out over a bunch of weeks? So you've bought some guest posts, Chris. What are you pointing at those guest posts, and how many would you use? And would that be drip fed over a course of weeks?
It's a big question. For one, I probably wouldn't have bought guest posts. But if I did, right? If I were going to pay extra money for white hat links that are guest posts and overcharge for a PBN, then I guess I would just build niche edits to it. I would just rather skip. I mean, if I'm going to buy a link, I want to buy a high-powered link that's totally about my niche, that I can get ultra power, ultra control, change the anchors if I need to. That's just...
You don't buy guest posts at all?
I don't buy guest posts. I buy straight PBN and niche edits.
I'm just curious. Every each to their own. Whatever works. I was just curious to know why. Is there any reason why you don't buy guest posts? Do you not feel they're valuable, or what's your thoughts on?
A guest post to me, most of the people that are vendors selling guest posts, this is my humble opinion. If you're selling links, you're selling links, right? It's a guest post. It's basically an overpriced PBN link.
Yeah.
That's it, in my opinion. So if I'm going to pay for it, why should I have to pay double? And it's pretty much the same quality. You look at the page, it's like, it doesn't make sense to me. Just my opinion.
I just want to hear that. And as I say, it's good for other people to hear your opinion, and what works for you is totally, whatever. Everyone's got different opinions. That's what makes the world go round. It's all good. Ryan Durrani, yes, put me in touch with the director of marketing at Frase. I'm happy to take a look and put us in touch, man. But with Miko Back's question, just to add to that, I would, I do and would buy guest posts. So I've got 5 guest posts. I might buy 10 niche edits just to see what happens. And then from there, I may do further link building like SEO Autopilot or whatever it might be. So you want to potentially power all of that stuff up. How many is really... there's no set figure that's going to work in every niche. Some stuff's going to need... a bit more. I think it's always perfect to, perfectly natural to drip feed that stuff out. You don't want to be, slamming 1,000, Web 2.0s at a guest post or something overnight or anything like that. And you do have the ability through the likes of SEO Autopilot to drip that stuff on as well. So I think just trying to make it look natural as you can, and as sensible as you possibly can. But if I can rank with 100 Web 2.0s and 5 niche edits or 10 niche edits, then that's what I want to do. If I need to throw more at it, if I have to throw the kitchen sink at it and everything else, that's what I'll do. And I would also incorporate 301 redirects, PBNs, and a whole bunch of other stuff into that mix as well, just depending on the niche and all that kind of stuff. But if I can get away with just ranking a page with 2 or 3 guest posts, I'm a happy man. So that's the way I do it. But I can't give you an actual figure of specific amounts, because it does vary from niche to niche. So hopefully that helps you. Islam is asking, thanks for your answer, but if it's not important for the backlink to be indexed in Google, what's the value of indexing services?
Indexing service should be, a caching and crawling helping service. It's not necessarily that we care that it's going to sit in the search results, but it has actually been seen and has made it there. Most of the time they're going to fade off, but we want to make sure that it's been crawled and it has made it to the index. That's the value.
But also, Islam, being indexed in general on Google and whether that shows up in the Search Console, Ahrefs, or anything else is two different things. All of these tools show you a small percentage. Now, I don't know what the actual percentage is, but it's a percentage of your links. They don't have the resources to show you every link that's going. It's always just a snippet, and that doesn't matter whether that's Ahrefs, Search Console, or any other tool for that matter. No one is giving you the full whack of what's going on. So that's just the nature of the beast. And as long as, there's also a debate out there, and I've seen many people arguing about it as to whether a link still passes value if it's not in Google's index, and that's a whole other argument. People will still claim it does. Some people will claim it doesn't. But the end of the day, for me, I would want a link that I had gotten, whether I paid money for it or not. I would want it to be indexed by Google, and to force that to happen, I would be using indexing services or social media to make sure that remains in Google's index. So hopefully that answers the question for you.
Especially if you pay for a link.
Yeah.
That'll be a freaking forward-facing index.
So Videoot is asking, how can I spy on how many posts my competitor has published in a particular month? Chris?
Pick your tool. That's a pretty,
just go and look at their blog. Look at their sitemap. You can get the frequency. So just, if they're on WordPress, just put in /sitemap.xml and you'll be able to see the dates of stuff and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I like that better. Go look at the sitemap. There it is. I was thinking, is this a trick question?
But just going onto the website and looking, of course, you can do tools and stuff, but I think in this instance, just opening your eyes and having a quick look around is going to give you an idea. If it's Chris Palmer, how many videos is he launching a week or a month? That's something I might want to look at because I want to beat his ass. And I don't really, to be fair. But if we were direct rivals and going toe to toe, and we were fighting for the pot of the same money, then just open my eyes and look around and see what the hell he's doing and try and do it better. So that's essentially it.
That's right.
Islam is saying, can we use GSA ranker for tier 1? And if we can, what are the best type of backlinks we can build for tier 1 using GSA ranker?
No, tier 1, you want to be your best links. This is what we're showing to Google and to the world. We want this to be our best. Also, we want to have control over this in case something were to happen as we build links to that first tier. So that first tier isn't going to be built by GSA or any tool for that matter. It needs to be, maybe a guest posts, maybe PBNs, maybe Web 2s, press releases. Your first tier is what you want to show to Google, so it needs to be the best quality you can afford.
Yeah, never use GSA in your own website.
No.
Someone's using GSA in my website just now on my behalf. I didn't ask them to, but they're choosing to do it, and you'll see the garbage that it gives off. It's absolutely horrendous. So don't point that shit to your money website. Will it get you banned? Probably, if it's done for a prolonged period of time. I think it just doesn't pass any value. Google is quick to probably filter a lot of that garbage out, and they really are that, just garbage. If you are going to use GSA, though, I think the key part in the whole process, and I'm not saying use tier 1, but scraping your own lists using Scrapebox or some other type of tool and importing that list so that the links you get are not the same as every other Tom, Dick and Harry that's on GSA, just pressing start and filling out the keywords and URLs and off it pops. So if you do want the best value for tier 2 or tier 3, scrape your own lists as well. So that's what you want to do. Megan Popescu, what would you say are the best SEO tools a startup with limited budget should use?
SEMrush and Surfer.
SEMrush and Surfer. I'll go for SEMrush and POP, just to be controversial. Surfer, POP, they all do the same thing. I've just got a habit of sticking with POP because I've used it for a number of years, and I'm just habit. It's a habit thing. But SEMrush is probably the key one because it does a lot. There's 40 plus tools within SEMrush, and lots of people just assume it's still a keyword research tool. You can audit your website. You can do a whole bunch of other stuff through SEMrush. So that would be the first one I would probably buy. So make sure you do go through my affiliate link. When I'm only kidding. But yeah, so there you go. Bloody hell, it feels as if we're plugging everything today.
I know. We're on a roll.
Chris, I know what the answer is going to be here. This guy, Videoot, is asking, do you want to tell us where you can buy good PBNs?
I mean, that's not, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that here, dude.
I just wanted to see what your answer would be, or how awkward you would be. He doesn't want to disclose that information. If he did, they would no longer be private blog networks. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry would be running there and trying to buy them up. You just got to root around, network, ask around. Someone in a Facebook group or something will tell you. Just be careful that it's not a big network that everyone's bought links on and used and abused. You need fresh inventory and links that don't have hundreds of thousands of websites that have got hundreds of thousands of links on them and that have been basically pumped to death. These are things to avoid. So yeah, and make sure your PBNs do some form of traffic and rankings as well. Don't just buy it based on metrics.
Yeah, and a tip too, if you find somebody, ask them, do you give a full list of where my links are going to be placed? Because that's usually a big turnoff for me. If they're willing to give me a list of where all the links are going to be placed and share with me every single link they're going to put, then I can't buy from them.
So to sell to you, Chris, you would basically have to say, give me your money, but I'm not telling you where your links are going.
Yeah, like when they give me usually most of the people will send me a report. They're not going to share where every single link was. Like they'll give the list and it'll have like a couple letters and it'll have some stars.
Right.
You know? I mean, I'll end up seeing it eventually, but they're not like just willing to share a report or show me a lot of samples usually.
Yeah. That's not like those emails you get every morning. Look at all these websites I can get you listed on.
Yeah.
Never buy from there. Anyway, on to the next question. Jeremy Den Hartog, when citation links using SEO Builder, are you using your home local address if you don't have a physical business location or something else? What would you do if you didn't have an office, Chris? Would you use your home or would you use a mailing address?
Generally it's going to be wherever I get mail. Or if I have to, then I'm going to use the zip code. Like for the area of where I am. Yeah. So usually at all costs, not at all costs, but generally I'm going to submit at least an address where I'm getting my mail from.
Yeah. That's the key part in the whole thing, is being able to get that postcard that comes through. Whether that address matters or not is a different story. Now you can also verify your home address and then drag the marker, round the corner or 10 streets away or whatever without re-verifying. So you can do that if you're maybe not wanting to show your exact address. And as Chris says, some people just use zip code and stuff like that. So there's a number of different options from you. You just got to be consistent with it. When you're doing the citations, obviously, the name, address, and phone number, going across all of the different citations just have to be consistent across the board for that to have an impact. So hopefully that helps you. Ryan Durrani's talking about Ahrefs does it now. Top Pages 2.0. Can't remember. Oh, right. So that would have probably been for the blog, maybe, and the blog question. So how accurate that is, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm sure it's fairly accurate. The Ahrefs do a good job as well. So, guys, do keep your questions coming. We don't have a huge amount in the bank. We still have 23 minutes left. So do ask anything you want to ask, and we'll try and answer them all if we can. Make sure you do give us a like and subscribe on the channel.
Today's the I was told 2 times by 2 different people that today's the inauguration.
I seen it in the news. It actually popped up in my phone just before, and also I seen things like Trump had left the White House for the last time and all that stuff. So
a lot of noise today.
So it's a big day for people in America.
I guess.
Is that like a public holiday or anything because of that?
No, not for me. I don't believe so. No.
Because it's obviously a big thing. I didn't know if they just done stuff because like we get the Queen's birthday and all that off over in the UK, or one of our birthdays off. I'm pretty sure, but. Yeah, it is what it is. But hello, Ali Salim.
Oh, you missed that one. That was a good one. That was a pretty good question.
What one?
Oh, right above. Hello, sir.
Yeah. Sorry. Manu CJ. What are the things to check out before buying an expired domain?
Well, generally, if I'm going to buy a domain, I like auction. I want pages to be indexed. I'm looking, is it getting some type of traffic? How many referring domains does it have? What's the anchor text profile looking like? Is it generic? Can I use it? Can I use it for other purposes? But primarily it's going to be traffic, pages indexed, referring domains, and what's the anchor text profile? Craig, this is actually a good question I want to ask. That's part of my question for later, actually.
I mean, what you're saying, Chris, when you're looking at it, you want to look at a lot of that stuff, but also considering checking out whether that domain name or that brand has been trademarked and all that kind of stuff as well. But I think the main things, just in general, not worrying about trademarks or anything, you want to look at the referring domains. That's one of the first things you want to look at and see what quality is there. Secondly, you want to dig around in the Wayback Machine and see what the website has previously been used for, anchor text, all of that stuff. Basically, you just don't want to inherit a website that's been spammed to death by some porn guy or whatever, because that obviously happens a lot, and then they'll throw it in the bin, and the anchor text is all shot to pieces. So things like that you're looking for, but also on top of that, you do have to also consider trademarks and various other bits and bobs as well.
I didn't take that into consideration
because you can get into trouble. I mean, that's one that you're not always going to fall into, but for certain things, if someone's got a trademark on something, you're screwed. That domain's just not worth shit. You just have to have a look at that. And I think ODYS, who deal in age domains and brandable domains and everything else, these are the kind of things that guys like that are actually looking for. They're looking for a bit more than just the metrics of it. They're wanting it to be brandable, something that's not going to get you into trouble. And that's why these marketplaces exist. So they are digging a little bit deeper than your average Joe. But you can get some bargains yourself for sure. Just be very, very careful, because a lot of them have been used and abused and then basically thrown away like an old oily rag by certain guys.
Is that pretty much what, if you were going out and looking for it, do you like totally expired or dropped though?
No, I mean, for me, as far as I'm concerned, I don't like. I think when a domain expires or just drops completely, it does get reset. In my opinion, like it doesn't have that historical value. So I would want to probably get it in an auction or buy it off of a guy who wanted rid of it or whatever before that drops, because again, it's one of those arguments you hear people say, no, it still passes value, blah 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 blah. Does it really?
Yeah.
I'm not so sure. And although the backlinks and everything are pointing there to that website, is there something within Google saying, well, that anything that was pre after this date just doesn't count? And I think that would be something that'd be quite easy for Google to implement. So as far as I'm concerned, I would rather they didn't drop.
No, I tried to. I bought an expired, like a dropped one that had really good metrics, and I pointed it at this SEO testers, like just this test domain. And dude, like nothing. So I was curious about that. So that's where I came to the realization that not only do I want the links, and the anchor and everything, but I want to make sure it's indexed and it's getting traffic, because that's where I found I noticed getting the biggest jumps. So I was just curious what your take was on it. Maybe I'm missing a piece. I don't know.
No, definitely not. If I'm doing anything, even when I'm grabbing websites, if I'm going to launch a new affiliate website, it would be a domain that someone's had, or it would be a pre-existing website that someone's built up over a number of years. I can scale that a hell of a lot quicker than I can, with a domain that's dropped or starting from scratch. So I'm always looking for a head start, and
absolutely
much of a head start as I can possibly get. That's the whole point in this whole process. So I think, a lot of people dive in. I think a lot of rookies dive into the grab and drop domain names and they don't really understand it. These metrics are being reset and stuff. And you get arguments saying, does 301 redirects actually work? Does that crap even work anymore? And some people say yes, some people say no. People are saying it's probably not dropped. It's just been redirected after years of use. And the other people are doing what you've done and just bought something, nothing, not even keyword moves, and you're just like, geez. So there you go. But
that's a good question.
Ali Salim, sir, can you please tell me how we can identify how many backlinks we need to rank for a particular keyword?
And this is logged in all the tools. SEMrush calls it the keyword or the link gap, I believe, or backlink gap. But if you're looking at a lead competitor and after you've looked at age and you've looked at the amount of content, and we're matching and mimicking as far as on page and the technical and all those aspects, and we're looking at links, then we're looking at how many authority links do they have, and then what can we successfully build that are equivalent to these, and then at how fast. So how many does your leading competitor have that's actual good links? And there's your number, or at least close to it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, you have to look at the competition. You can't just blanket say every keyword needs 5 links or something like that. That is not how it works, and some don't even need a backlink. So,
how do you feel about this, Craig? Do you feel that the link juice passes down from the homepage, or do you like to build? I mean, yes, we want to build maybe 1 or 2 or a few to the actual pages that we want to rank, or more. But as you're building, do you like to build? Are you in the camp that says if I build to the homepage, it flows down, or do you feel that it flows evenly throughout the site regardless?
I actually had this conversation with Ryan before. That's what we were on a call about, Ryan Durrani, and I'm probably in the camp where I will build links to certain individual pages on a website. But in general, certain pages will rank well without a huge amount of links based on the overall domain authority. So that is the way I believe it works. Now, of course, there will be, a page that goes after like SEO Manchester or something, a big city in the UK. And of course, I'm going to smash some links at that. But do you need to build links to every individual area page or landing page in your website? Absolutely not. I think your overall domain authority really does pass a lot of power throughout your website. Now, I can put a blog post up just now and it will rank on page 1 in 5 minutes. And that's because I've got a fair bit of power overall in my website, and I can rank pretty quickly for reasonably competitive search terms because of the overall domain authority, and that's the way I've got to look at it.
So in your opinion, if we were to build a site, we're just saying hypothetically, we built the homepage, we don't build any links to the homepage, but we build all of our links, we build another page, and we build all of our links there, you don't feel that the authority is going to carry through the site as it would if I were to be building the links to the homepage? Doesn't authority build the same, you don't think? I'm curious.
I'm not sure. I've never actually went about doing that, in the reverse way that I would normally do it. I've never just built links just to inner pages and completely ignored the homepage. Would that still pass value? Probably, I would imagine it would, but it's just not how I do things. I've been in this industry for a long time and probably set in certain ways where I've just been used to doing things a certain way and it still worked for me. But as far as I'm concerned, I think building your overall domain authority is an important thing anyway, because whilst I'm doing SEO, I'm trying to build a brand and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. So, it's something that people could argue that they've tested and probably say, yeah, well, it works the other way as well. Do you really need your homepage to rank? Does it need that power? Why are you not powering up those inner pages? But I certainly think overall, the way I do it, it definitely passes power.
It goes down. I agree.
So yeah, but as I say,
I've been seeing these in the wild though. I've been seeing these in very competitive niches where I'm looking and I'm like, wait a minute. It's almost like they're creating a link magnet and just pummeling this page, and instead of the homepage powering it, it's like they're building all the power to this page, and it's just very. I've seen it, not a lot, but I've seen it.
Do you think that's people just doing things differently though, just to try stuff out?
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
People all the time weird things. I mean, I think links to whatever will work to some degree anyway. So,
right.
But as I say, my ways worked the way I've worked for many years, and
absolutely.
I'm going to be dicking around with the way I work because it's getting me.
If there was a Bible or like this is your SEO 101, it says homepage trickles down. I mean, that's pretty. I think my dad told me that, son, you build your links to the homepage. Like I think you told me that 20 years ago.
Yeah. Anyway, Harish is asking, what is the best way to rank a main service keyword when you're serving 5 to 6 locations? Do you have a city-specific URL or one generic page that includes all locations?
Well, locations tab that could be considered maybe your category page is going to list them all, right? And then each location is going to have its own dedicated page, so hopefully that answers your question.
Yep. You've got to have that. You can't just generalize, have one, on your page in 6 locations or whatever.
You can't just have a mega menu that has 50 locations and then they just click it. Generally, you'll have a category, a locations category, and then, that's how I've seen 99.9% of sites,
Vidute is asking, any pro tip for a mediator?
I'm not sure. Please elaborate on mediator. I'm not sure. Oh, do you want to? I'm not sure what you mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean, man. I know you've asked other questions, but I'm not sure what you mean by a mediator. Do you need help with
affiliate marketing,
fighting with a neighbor or something like that? Again, software field for affiliate marketing. I'm not sure if this is coming from you, Vidute, or it's a different name that's flagging up, but we'll come back to us and let us know what it was you were trying to ask with a wee bit more detail. Islam is asking, I have some URLs from my own website that Google Search Console see that they're indexed, but they really are not indexed in Google. How can I solve this problem? Request indexing again.
And this is a classic. Google's have seen them, and they're just not in the forward-facing index. I mean, you can run them through indexers. You can use the, various methods, but it's been seen by Google. So that is the argument, like Craig and I were talking about. Does it still pass power? I feel yes. Of course it has. Google's seen it. So it's either been discounted or it's passing power. So it's, it is what it is, especially if it showed up in Search Console. We can guarantee Google saw that one.
Next question from Josh Brown. Why that's not coming up. Whoop. Yeah, something was funny going on there. So Josh Brown's saying, Craig, have you figured out how to get into PAAs yet? Any plans for a course? PAAs, Chris, do you want to elaborate on this one?
I don't know what it is. I was waiting for. You see me tentatively. I was like, "What? What is PAAs?"
I'm going to assume it's people also ask. So, how do you optimize? People always ask into your SEO strategy. I mean, I don't know if there's demand for a course for that information, but
I
people
love
always ask. It's. I mean, what is it you want to know? Like, what are you struggling with? Are you struggling? Like, what do you want to know about this? I mean, this is not a new thing. It's been out for a number of years. I like
to grab them and put them in the comment section. I like to gather them all up and keep clicking the button until I get a nice list and then go make my comments off of it.
What, would you do a course on it? Like, do people want that? I mean, that's surely. I mean, I can do a course on it if there's a necessity for it, but it's very, very basic.
Yeah.
So what is your to help Josh out here? What would you be doing? You've obviously mentioned that you're grabbing all of these and whacking them all on your page. Is that it?
Yeah, well, that's not helping me get into there because these are already questions.
Yeah.
So generally, we're looking for questions that are often asked. And then what I've noticed, a lot of the ones that get in there, it's mentioned on the page and then it's been schemaed, like question and answer scheme is on the page. And then they're usually grabbing. Or you're an authoritative domain where there's a lot of question and answer going on, even without schema, and then they're pulling from that. So as long as you're on the first or top of the second page, I noticed that that's where they pull from. And then generally, I've seen a lot, if you're in those pages and then you have the schema and you're laying it out, then they'll grab them too. So that's the easiest way to get pulled in there.
But it's also, just let me show you my screen very quickly. The competition that we had, CTR manipulation, not SEO at the end of it. We had this kind of online fight, if you like. And I actually seen, so I read a couple of bits here of FAQ schema there, and it was only because Ryan Houghton, who's actually fell off of page one, had it just to take up more of the landscape on there. I don't know where Ryan Houghton's fell away to. I'm pretty sure it was Ryan Houghton. But to get that literally took me about 3 minutes, just adding FAQ schema. And it's just taking time to go through that and add the questions that everyone's asking. As far as I'm concerned, people do ask a lot of questions like what is CTR manipulation, this, that, and the next thing. The more of them you can add, the more of these opportunities you're going to get. So I think it would make sense to add that to every page in your website that's going to be relevant.
Son of a gun.
What?
You son of a gun.
I've done that.
You bugger. You got on there, huh?
Mate, it took me 2 minutes to get it. Literally, bang. Obviously, that's a real easy cut. Listen, that wasn't me that came up with that. Ryan Houghton was actually the guy that had it first. So when we were all going for it, Ryan Houghton had that, and I'm like, that fucker. He had about 3 or 4 of them, and I'm like, Jesus, yeah, I'm not having that. So I went and added them to my website one night. which I think was back in August, according to the date on there on Google, and added it on. So get lost, Chris. You're trying to add yours just now. Piss off.
No, I'm seeing this new guy. I've seen him on YouTube before, and I seen him before, and he entered a press release. He's getting a temporary boost right now because he just did this. I mean, that's my keyword, like, I'm gonna have to. I don't mind you. I mean, you're my main guy, and you're not optimized for click-through rate manipulation. You're optimized for something a little bit differently than me, but it's pretty much the same. I just don't. I see a new guy here, and I'm like, wait a minute,
that's not right.
Guy? Where did he come from? But no, I like that. I like it. I like it a lot.
But yeah, just simple FAQ schema is all you need to implement and add those questions in, and boom, that stuff comes up. So I can see Chris is pretty pissed that I've done that behind his back. That was just like he even started going after that search term behind my back. That's how that story went. So
no, it's not. It's not you. It's this new guy here coming in on my keyword here. If they're looking for click-through rate manipulation, there's really only 3 people they should be looking at: Holly Starks, Chris Palmer, and Craig Campbell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm a competitive guy. I'm an SEO. I mean, what do you want from me?
Rick Blythe, good to see you here, man. Shubham, does penalized domain affect other domains hosted in the same hosting account?
Penalized domains affect in the same hosting account? It could. It could.
Do you think Google would see that as bad neighborhoods?
I would. That's not saying that every single time it's going to get nabbed, but generally, I mean, if there's an issue, I'm going to keep it pushing. I wouldn't. It could happen. You could be penalized. So I'd be looking elsewhere. I'd be looking elsewhere.
The way I look at it is, if you were walking along the street where some mass murderer, people are going to look at you slightly differently than they would if you were walking down the street yourself. And that is the way Google are going to look at it as well. Just they're at it, they're just a black marker against your name. So you would want to probably try and steer clear of something like that. If possible, separate your domains out. How can you stop people clicking on multiple times on AdSense ads? So is there any way to stop that? I know there's lots of tools saying, they can sort this out, but really, if someone's hiding behind proxies and VPNs and everything, can you really stop it?
I don't think you can. I mean, how do you go about stopping that?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Obviously, there's claims that you can. I think you're going to struggle. If someone wants to get your budget clicked out, then there's a way to do it. So, there you go. Last couple of questions. How to properly set up an expired domain if it has links from high authority websites? So we kind of did cover that, Imran, earlier on. Just Chris said he would normally
launch a page, test it. Yeah, we covered it, but you're launching a page. You want to test it first and foremost. And then generally what I do is I like to build it right out exactly how it was. And then I'm just changing the links. That's the laziest, maybe the worst way to do it. But it's efficient. Craig even did a video not too long ago about a tool. And I've been playing with this tool. Ava, what is it?
Archivetics or something. Yeah. Archivetics.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool tool. So I watched that and I've been playing with that, launching the pages. As long as it's not ultra old websites, you run into some trouble, but that's it. Watch that video and then listen to the beginning and you'll be right on point, my friend.
Good man. Chris, according to you, what will be the link building strategy for 2021? PBNs and tiered link building?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty much the same as far as link building is concerned. I like PBNs, press releases, citations, niche edits. My first layer is going to be in assets that I control. So Web 2.0s or other sites that I control. Primarily, I like to set up at least 5 sites that I control no matter what. And then I'm going to vary the anchor text coming in semantically based upon the keywords that I want to rank for overall. That's it.
Interesting. Ellie is asking, did you notice a drop in GMB rankings after creating a new post on GMB? So should your rankings dip after posting on your Google My Business account?
I don't generally see that. I don't think that that's correlated to one another. That seems odd to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd be going in there and double checking, making sure, you know, are you doing anything else a little maybe fishy? You know, because generally if you're doing posting, this is an added benefit, not a demotion.
Yeah, I would agree. How much CTR works for top 3 result manipulation?
Well, you already have to have an optimized page. You already need to be at the top of page 2 or on page 1 in order to see the best results, right? You're not going to go from page 5 to page 1. You maybe, but you already have to be in position is what I'm getting at for CTR or user signals to generate an increase in rank.
Perfect. Kathleen Flack, how would you guys go about owning more of the SERP for your keyword? Thanks, guys. So,
one of the best ways is buy more sites, other sites, and then hitting all the variations. Building more pages on the site I currently have, but more so getting other sites to get in position or other authoritative. Let's say I'm selling a product, then I would want to get the listing on Amazon. I'd want the eBay listing. I'd want the Target listing. I'd want the Walmart listing. You see, depends on what you're doing. So that's more sites is usually the goal.
And add, you know, FAQ schema and things like that as well. Just taking up more of the landscape and making your position look more prominent. You know, your main position as well. So
ads, be at the top. You're number 1, 2, 3. Get another site. You see that all the time. I mean, that's common practice. You buy the ad. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Last question, and it's just moved away. So Islam, if I'm getting a guest post, should I point only to the page I want to rank for or also to the homepage?
Should I point to the page I want to rank for? Well, if I'm going to pay for a guest post, ideally you can maximize power from a link if you can get 2 links going to 2 separate pages. So ideally I want one going to the homepage and to the page I'm ranking. That would be ideal. But if I'm going to pay for it, I'm probably going to focus it on the page I'm trying to rank.
That would be exactly what I would do. And a final one from Islam before we wrap up for today. If I build landing pages for the same service for different locations, how can I avoid duplicate content?
Well, different service pages or location pages?
For the same service for different locations.
Yeah, different locations. Generally, what I like is you can get away with, you know, duplicating it over. But what I like is all the geo modifiers throughout the content or the text or the copy, whatever you want to call it. But that first 100 words, you know, like say on the Las Vegas, I just used all the different cities that were surrounding that I had pages built out. So the first 100 words is going to be relatively unique to wherever your new location is. The rest of the content is just being changed by geo modifiers.
Yeah. No, I think that's a sensible option, and it's certainly it's the way it has to work. If you're doing a mass campaign, you can't avoid certain elements of duplicate content. So it is what it is. You know, if you're a plumber and you're doing that in multiple places, there's only so many ways you can say you do emergency plumbing. There's no other way, or whatever your plumbing services are. So there's only so many ways you can do that. And that does allow us to wrap up, guys, for this week's question and answer session. Thank you very much for all the questions. Do check out Chris Palmer SEO on YouTube as well. He's got a lot of good content over there. I need one of those t-shirts, man. I need that guy's name.
Isn't it cool? I was so happy, man. I couldn't believe it. I was so thrilled. If anybody wants to send me a cool shirt, please do so.
And you can also check out Chris's CTR course as well. But thank you, guys. And we'll catch you again same time next week. Cheers.
See ya. Thank you.